Yep. Hello, everyone. So, for this episode, we are going to solve the Digital Forensics Lab, a hard lab from our very own Blue Team Labs online platform. So, this lab is called Evil Maid. So, many players love this lab because of its technical challenges. And I agree because I have played this lab, I have run through a couple of times, and I agree with the technical challenges thing. And many were saddened by the news of its retirement, sadly. But remember, retiring something usually means something new is coming, right? Yeah, so before we start solving this lab, I want to give a shout out to our Discord community, our healthy Discord community, especially Kibeth for lending me a hand with this awesome lab. Now, let's get started. So the scenario is Mr. Victim went on a business trip to an international cybercrime summit. One evening, after returning to his hotel bedroom, he noticed something weird with the way he had left his belongings. Though, as nothing appeared to be missing, he went on and finally returned to the office. Several weeks later, he received an email asking for 60 bitcoins or all of his documents will be released online. The adversary sent him a screenshot from his own workstation as well as a secret .docs file he had been working during the summit. Mr. Victim reported that the incident to the end user support team. Though unfortunately for us, they did not acquire the memory before collecting it. To avoid compromising the potential evidence, we were only allowed to perform a disk acquisition. We have this note here about the input-output SleuthKit FLS tool. 10 minutes to fully process the acquired image. Keep that in mind that in case you deem FLS output necessary for your analysis. So for this lab, we're going to use SIFT workstation, EVTX dump, SleuthKit, Impacket, RegReaper, IVEX, and actually this is a Linux lab, so we'll be using filtering command like grep, sed, and awk. Now let's get started. So we are now in our analysis box. We have this evidence folder here, which has all the tools, the Impacket, EVTX dump we need later on. Also the cyberchef if we need that later. And this image of Mr. Victim. So start answering questions. Okay. So question number 1, when was the acquisition performed? What's the assigned case number? For this thing, since we have this image, you're going to mount it. There is a tool here in the lab. So we have this tool here in the lab. So let's change directory to the desktop and the evidence. Right. Before mounting this disk or exploring this disk, the content of this disk, you need to mount it into a directory. So what we'll need to do first is let's create a directory called disk mount or mount. Then our next step is to change the owner of this directory to Ubuntu. So we'll do this by chown Ubuntu and mount. Since we have already can confirm, yep. So the owner is Ubuntu, which is the current user. So our next step is to mount the disk file, the .eo1 e01. We'll use ewf mount disk and the directory where the mounted disk will appear, right? So let's check the mount directory. So we have the EWF1, which we can inspect what type of file is it. EWF1. So it says here it's a Windows 7 English offset MBR, which we believe this is the mounted this file. So our let's start answering questions. So when was the acquisition performed, and what's the assigned um number? Let's clear this up. So there is a tool called EWF Info, part of expert witness file tools. So let's point it out to our recently mounted disk. Oops, sorry. Mm-hmm. Let me find a way to fix one. Oops, sorry. I think we need to run it into the .e01 file, which is our original disk image. So EWF info disk. Yep. And this one. So when was the acquisition performed, and what's the assigned case number? So this is very basic. So the case number is this. So the EWF info will extract all the info of this image during um, the acquisition stage, right? So we have the examiner name, acquisition date. Yeah, so the format is 2021, month, day, are. Yep, let's try. Okay, that's 2021. Months will be 06. Day will be 06 also. And the hour is 12:31:59. And the case number is 21-0666. Let's copy. Wait, right. Who performed this acquisition? So for this part, this is have this examiner name here. You can copy or type Francis. Francis, you are perfect. Sweet, right? So what is the initial sector for the total length for the data partition of the acquired disk? So for this part, since we have already mounted we run, clear this up. So this MMLS tool in Linux extract the sectors or the partitions from a disk image. So let's try. Sorry. Yep. So back to the question. So the data partition, we are interested. So the data partition here, I think this one. So we have 239.616. And also the length, right? The length will be this one. Sweet. So those three questions are um easily to be answered. So go to the next part, which is examining the shadow copies exist. When was the last one performed? So for this part, I think we need to find the shadow copies of the disk image. So there's a tool here called um, V shadow mount on the disk or on the system or analysis system. And we'll run -h to understand what are the parameters. So V shadow mount offset, of course the offset. So let's open another to the desktop evidence. Okay. And then let's run MLS. So the offset is yep. So the starting offset is this one, right? The ending offset is this. So what we will put here is the offset is this, because this is the data partition, and as you can see, there's a the length is big, which means it contains a file, or it contains files in this partition. So we are interested in this partition for this analysis, or for this lab. So v shadow mount. Okay. Um. hmm. So we'll run v shadow mount dash o. Try try o, and then the volume, which is the mounted. Uh, I think we need to create a directory again. So let's create directory bss mount. Then let's change the owner of this directory to yeah again, and this one is mount. Okay, let's check the VSS mount. So there's nothing, right? Why? Because the V shadow mount requires us to specify the volume offset in bytes. So in order to get this, we need to multiply this part, this sector, to 512, which is the byte sectors, and we'll do it. We'll multiply this one 239616 times 512, and then that's the byte, the offset in bytes, and to be supplied with the dash o um, parameter. So, so to do this, we're going to use a command. I believe this is an expression, and the syntax will be this expression and 239616, and then the terminator, then the multiply sign, and then the bytes. So we're going to copy this one, then create, and let's run again v shadow mount dash o, then the paste is our size in bytes, then target our mounted disk, and save it into the other mounted disk that we recently created. Failed access point, permission denied. Try sudo. Okay, let's find a way. I think we need to go inside the mount directory. So let's try it again. vshadow mount dash o, and the offset in bytes, and the mount ewf. Then we'll go back and save it to the vss mount. Okay, permission denied again. Yep. So what we've done to fix this permission denied is to create another VSS mount. So instead of this directory, we created another one, and we don't use sudo to change the owner. And then let's try if it's successfully mounted. Mount. Yep. So we have this VSS1 here. So let's go to the to that directory. So here you have this VSS1. Let's identify what type of file is it. So it's the same, DOS MBR, so it's a disk file. And then what we'll do next is to answer the questions. So how many shadow copies exist? So we've identified that there's only one. And when was the last one performed? So there's a tool together with vShadow Mount. The other tool is vShadow Info, which we can use it to the VSS1. So let's try VSS1. I think it needs the still needs the offset. Snow volume shadow copy. Hmm, okay. So I believe it's we can run this command against the EWF disk um found in the wait, count. I think we need to point or in the disk. Let's try v shadow info dash offset in bytes mount EWF. So the answer to answer the question, how many shadow copies exist? Since there's only one here. And when was the last time performed? So creation time, we believe is our answer here. The format is year, month, date, and hour. The year is 2021 and 06 still 06 11 03 37. Copy it tweet. What we'll do next is we'll try listing the VSS, the shadow copy, and run. This might take a while, as you can see on the details. Please be advised that due to input-output, FLS takes up to 10 minutes to fully process the acquired image. So, yeah. So we have successfully listed all the files from this shadow copy. So, so why are we answering other questions and not the intended way, like this and this and that, and we resort to answering the other questions instead of the next ones? Because some other questions are easy to find. Let's answer this one. So, as we don't have evidence of the network activity, we suspect that the adversary may have connected a USB device to the system to install the backdoor. What is the adversary USB volume name? So, we are going to look for the logs first. Copy. So, we're going to use grep to find it. Yep, have this one. So let's FLS VSS1 and yeah. Oops. Yeah, win event and logs. Sorry. Then we have this security EVTX and then pipe it into an output file. We have successfully extracted the security event logs. I know the logs have this junk X, right? In order to see it as a like readable one, we're going to use a tool called evtx dump. We're going to use the options, the dash o, the format. We're going to use a JSON file format and the output of the target. So check cat dogs parse. We have 22,000 lines, and inspecting it manually will take us forever, right? We'll use grep, so device description, security logs, parsed. The value of this device description is the device name of the USB inserted to the machine. So let's try Grumpy Sweet, right? Then try answering this one. So what's the attack T1547 subtechnique used for persistence? The full registry, key name, and value name that was changed. So hint, to remove the format ambiguity, consider the following parameters on regadd command. So T154 is a boot or log on auto start execution. So it means this is a persistence technique. So yes, adversaries may configure system settings to automatically execute a program during a system boot or log on to maintain persistence or gain higher level privilege on the compromised machine. So operating systems may have mechanism for automatically running a program on the system boot or account. So how will this help to solve this? To solve the question, it has this sub techniques. For example, this T15470004, which is the WinLogon. So WinLogon is a Windows component responsible for actions at log on, log off, as well as the secure attention sequence triggered by out delete. So we're going to use this information, the T1547004, to inspect if there are any malicious or suspicious software being added to this registry location. Going to Windows, then System32. The registry hives is located in the config directory. So we're going to find that one. Config. We have found it. This file. And we're going to extract the software hive. So we're going to extract it using icat, same as how we extracted the security logs. icat, then name, back, software. And this might take a while. We have now successfully extracted the software hive. So what are we going to do next is to inspect this software hive using a tool called Hivex. Hivex. H. So welcome to Hivex. Yep. Yep. Okay, CD. I think we need to load the software. Yep. CD Windows NT. ls cd current version. Then this one, cd winlogon. cd winlogon. We'll do is let's list all the variables or the values found inside the winlogon using lsval. Let's look for something here. Is interesting. So a user init, system32 user init.exe. Going to find that. Back with our question. So what is the attack T1547 subtechnique used for persistence full registry key name and value name that was changed? Hint, remove the ambiguity and the following reg add. Okay. So what it needs for the answer is the subtechnique, So use the other T1547, that's 004, and the this one of one ALM and log on, and the value, right? So registry, ALM, software, Microsoft, Windows, current version, and the value, which is this user init. User init. Copy, paste. Perfect. So what is the full path of the PE file backdoor added to the adversary to the files in it? What's its hash? So since we have this information, the user init.exe, we're going to use that info user wrong. Okay. Since there are two disk files, the volume shadow copy and the demounted EWF, which is the current one, 39616. Remember, you don't use the bytes because this is the first disk image that we already mounted. So will it will list same. So let's go to the Windows. Let's extract the software hype for this disk. We have here. Okay. We have already extracted the file. Since there are two files here, we're going to use again the Hivex and cd winlogon file. Software Hive from our original disk image is the current one. This result from the VSS is just the backup. This can be used to inspect if there are any discrepancies between the original disk image. For example, this Hive, the software Hive from the original disk image, and the software Hive from the volume shadow copy. You can compare those both to identify if there are any discrepancies. For example, this one, we have you can see that there's nothing, like just user init. The software Hive from the original disk image, the mounted disk image, we have this explorer.exe. So what we'll do next is find sorry explorer.exe. So here, let's try extracting it from the volume shadow copy. Then double explorer.exe. Open another terminal. Frames. See, it has this payload. And I think we have found our answer. Hash this file, 256 sum, and the explorer.exe. So a payload one is a red flag because a legitimate explorer.exe won't have this string. To answer our question, we explorer.exe, then exe, then hash. Let's go to the questions. Seems the adversary was able to reconnect into workstation and retrieve some sensitive data. So this suggests that some sort of persistent mechanism was still in place at the time of acquisition. Weirdly enough, Windows, yeah. So still in place at the time of acquisition. So that's why it explains that there are no instances here in the volume shadow copy. So weirdly enough, Windows Defender did not report any detection. Which folders complete paths were added to Windows Defender real-time scanner execution? To answer this, we are going to find the registry location of the execution list of Windows Defender. I think this is software or system. So we'll double check. Windows Defender registry location is found still in the software directory, Microsoft Windows Defender. So yeah, cd Windows Defender, then ls check. So the exclusion, cd exclusions, then let's list file C and E. Sweet. Perfect. The next one is when date time in UDC was the account created and deleted from the system. What we'll do next is to find the associated event IDs for account created and deleted. So to answer this one, we are going to do some automation. Let's create a directory first, event logs. Then we'll use sudo for Ubuntu again for the event logs. Okay. So this is the file number, right? So this means that this is a directory. This means this is a file, r/r. So for this, I think we need to extract all the file system 239616 of the mount. What this command does is that it will list all the files from this image and save it to a file system.txt. So it might take a while. So what we have here is cut file. Yep. I think nope. I forgot the -r for the recursive. So if we yep, there's a lot. So our next step is to automate everything from extracting all the file numbers, which is again this one, to what do you call this? To iterate or to loop, to make a loop that checks all the file numbers and look for the .evtx files in the file system. We're going to loop using grep evtx since we are interested in finding all the event logs on the file system. So file system.txt and then use awk for printing file numbers. Get file numbers.txt. We have this series of file numbers. So these are all the evtx from the file system. These are the file numbers. We'll use that with our next loop for x in cat file numbers. File numbers. I think you can. Tabs won't work. Text. It take a while. Let's this for the event logs. What we have here is the output of our previous command. So as you've seen previously, when we extracted the security event logs, we've used the events, this tools, the evtx dump, which transforms the the logs into a more readable format, and we'll use this again, but we'll use a loop. We'll do this by, again, for loop file. If we view that file, there's an XML equivalent of the previous text files. So our next step is to look for the event IDs generated when there's a account created or account deleted on the system. So what we'll do next is to grep for I think n r h e. So this is the command I used. Then event ID. So the event ID we will be using is the event ID 4720 and 4726. If we look at it, so what is event ID 4720? When a user account is created in Active Directory, user account control is disabled, and the 4726 is account is deleted. So we're going to use this 4720 and 4726 for its instance in our XML files or the event log files. We're going to use this grep, then enclose it with the open parenthesis, then the event logs 4720 and 4726, then close it with event ID. So yep, one. Now point it to the event logs and use the wildcard, search for all its instances in the XML file. There are 3 instances. So how are we going to inspect this? We're going to use a nano cd event logs. So let's look for 89617. Reading the file. There are thousands of lines. If you do it manually, it will hurt. Then this one, go to line. So hit Control Shift underscore to the UTC. So I think this one is our answer. And I think we have found our answer for the account creation timestamp. So the format is the account creation and account removal, right? For our next is there's only one instance of 4726, which is nice because we can easily spot it using go to line. So it's the same account. Yep, admin, and then the timestamp. So going to copy this one. Then let's hit submit. Sorry, UTC. Yeah, I mislooked the format. We got the right answer, but the format says that it needs to be D at the end. Sweet, right? So the next one is which group was the account created added to? List them alphabetically. So to answer this one, I think I have to use reg ripper, I guess, to run this command sudo ln -s p, then the user share reg ripper, then add it to the user local source reg ripper plugins. And then let's use the mode, allow user reg ripper execute. user local, correct, source, reg ripper, the wildcard format. Then going to use this user local bin rip.pl to see if it runs correctly. Right. So since we are interested with the counts and yeah, so in Windows, account related artifacts can be found in the sum registry hive, right? And since it is located in the config, going to do that again. Those and the system32. Then let's rep for config. Okay, this one. Then we'll compare both. So next step is yeah. Sorry. So I think I need to go inside the config directory and this one, the sum. So since this is the original disk image, we're going to name it icat-o239616 mount to take 6 39616 mount, then the file number of the SAM, then we'll save it into the desktop. No, the evidence. So SAM OG. Then our next step is to dump the SAM from the what do you call this one? The VSS, right? VSS. So let's do it again. To system 32. Okay, and perform grep again. Find the config. Tab here is the config. Let's change the file number into auto config. Then have SAM here. I think it's the same, right? Yeah, it's the same. It's the same file number. Anyway, then use icat uh, PSS mount PSS and the file number. We'll name it SAM backup SAM PSS. We will start our analysis by inspecting or analyzing first the SAM OG, which is the original disk image. Let's use Hivex and SAM ls cd SAM. I think the question is about it is we are tasked to find the account created, right? So we know that from this question, there's a added account named admin with 1 as I. So we need to find it in the SAM of the disk. And then ls cd domains, ls cd accounts, s ls cd users, ls So what we have here is the different accounts. So 01F4 is for, I think this is hex for 500. Okay, let me show you this. What we have here is the website called Rapid Tables. So since this is a hex format, so let's try to hex, right? Hex decimal. So F4 01 01 F. Yep. So this um this hex in decimal it is a 500, means this is a administrator account because the relative ID of an administrator is 500, and the relative ID of a normal user in a system starts with 1000, right? So if we look at these event IDs, so since it is a account created, right, because in the security event logs, it is visible. The SID and the read of the account created is visible. So we'll use that log to check if there's an entry of that SID or read of or that account in the original SAM. Ano 89617 897. Okay, the text XML link file. So again, go to line. What we have here is the admin, since it is so we have this SID. This one is the SID, and this is the read. So if we compare it with the if we use the rapid tables, this decimal to hex, so 3EB, right? So 1003, which is our desktop admin account, uh, uh, which is the account created by the adversary. And if we check it in the SAM directory of the original this image has no entries, right? So you won't be able to find its instance in the SAM because I think it is deleted, I guess. So there's a difference between this is the OG SAM original or the existing or the SAM Hive during the acquisition, the disk acquisition, and this is the backup of the SAM Hive in the residing in the volume shadow copy. So let's use rip-r SAM PSS F SAM. Sorry, parse plugin file. Can locate plugin. Okay. Yep. So to answer our question, so to which group was the created account added to? Okay. So we can see here since here's account. Yep. Compare those both. Yeah, the admin one does not exist. Victim is 1002, which is the user, which is our which is the main character, and the admin with the one is 1003. We found. So the question is which group was the account created added to? So we'll use this read find the groups. So users, that's this one, users. Then yep, administrators. I think sure. Administrators. Sweet. Yeah. So quick recap: what we've done to solve this question, the which groups was the created account added to, is to extract the SAM of the original disk image, and the SAM VSS came from the volume shadow copy, which is a backup. So moving on with the next question, we're down to three. Since we have identified the username, which is the admin, and the read is 1003. Okay. So to do this, there's a tool here called impacket tools impacket. So impacket has this secret dump that Python list tools impacket. So it has this secrets dump that Python. In order to crack the password, since we have already extracted the SAM directory or the SAM software hive, we're going to extract next is the system hive of the VSS file. So what we'll do next is the FLS VSS mount the VSS. We're going to locate the system hive. Just like John the Reaper, it needs to be cracked using both the system hive and the secret SAM. Sorry. Go, go to Windows. S System 32. Then grep for config. Then go to this directory. Then this one. Then we'll copy the system. I got CSS mount. CSS with the file number of the system hive. Then system CSS. So next is use the impacket. We'll use the Python tools impacket secrets dump that Python system then the CSS, then the SAM is SAM CSS local. So what we have here is the hash for the credentials, but it's not, but it's encrypted. We're going to copy the last part. And there's a website called crackstation.net which will help us crack this hash, or yeah. And yeah, our password is 123456. So to answer this one, to complete our answer is 123456. Copy. Perfect. Entire technique T1546008 to initial access to the system. What is the full path of the replaced binary? The legitimate binary was removed in order to exploit T1546.008. And what is the full path of the original binary? The one that was renamed into the replaced binary path used the adversary to get initial access to the system. So let's try to identify what is T1546.008, a sub-technique of T1546, a privilege escalation or persistence in Windows. So there are two common accessibility programs, so setc and utilman. So we're going to use this this information to solve uh, this question. So first, I run this fls-r to the volume shadow copy, save it into the sh volume.txt. Next is I run a for loop for the sh volume.txt and find all the instances of all the setc or setc trigger. So we've used that in our search for this part. we're going to use this ff find. It says here that the set C is located at Windows System 32. For PLWiz, we'll use the dash IW. For case sensitive, yep, and it exists in the STEM32. So I guess we have found our answer. C Windows STEM32 set C dot exe C Windows STEM32 net plwiz.exe. Sweet. Down with the last question. So based on the previous question, list the three processes in the format of process tree. Brand, parent process name, and process name that were launched by the adversary to create a user on the system. The process name is the binary responsible for adding the account to the system. Move backwards from there and create a full process tree. So for this one, let's clear this up. And we'll use again grep and print the lines where it founds the set C in the event logs .xml. So we have this data. So what we are going to do next is to create a process tree. So brand process, process name, parent process, and a process name. Brand process name. Let's start. Yeah, I've opened. If we So the parent process name is winlogon, and the new process name is setc. Again, let's winlogon exe setc exe, and the other one we're going to find something. The last one, which is we believe is the process name, grandparent process name, parent process name, and the process name. Sorry. Nope. Find about this one. We're looking for process. Nope. Try. Yeah. So winlogon, from winlogon, it creates a setc. It calls setc.exe. And from setc.exe, it creates mmc.exe. So I think we have found it. I think that's a wrap. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.